In this video, we are going to learn auto manual reverse for a starter control wiring for auto and manual operation. We connect one selector switch. First to see how starter works in manual operation. Okay, when you press start push button, our starter will start just only for when we press push button. And when you press reverse push button, your motor starter will run in reverse direction just only for when you press push button. Now learn auto connection. For auto connection, first select selector switch in auto position. Now you press forward push button, your motor run in forward direction. When you press stop push button, your motor starter will stop. When you press reverse push button, your motor run in reverse direction. So let's start video. In this video, we will learn auto manual reverse for starter control wiring wire by wire. Also by this drawing so that your all doubt will be clear. So let's start video and first learn which component is required for this control wiring. So we have two contactor. One contactor is forward contactor and one is reverse contactor. So we have two contactor and connect one overload relay in forward contactor. Okay, so two contactor, one overload relay, and also we connect one stop push button NC element. We have forward start push button NO element, reverse start push button NO element, and also we connect auto manual selector switch. You can see here when you press selector switch on one number position, your connection run in auto mode. That means when you press push button single time, your motor starter will run. Okay, and when you select selector switch on 0 number position, so your motor starter run in manual position. Just when you press push button, your motor starter will run. And in place of motor, we connect one cooling fan. So before start control wiring, first learn a basic connection of contactor. Okay, so for starting contactor, we need to provide phase and neutral 220 volt AC supply in A1 and A2 terminal. Okay, when you connect a phase and neutral in A1 and A2, your contactor will operate. So you can connect phase and neutral in single side. Also you connect a phase in A1 and neutral in A2. This is contactor power terminals, you can see here. And also in this contactor we have auxiliary points NO, you can see here 13 and 14 NO, and also we have one NC points in this contactor. Okay, now let's learn a control wiring. So for operating contactor, we need to provide phase and neutral. So first we connect a neutral in A2 terminal directly, and after that we will learn a phase control wiring. So we connect a neutral directly in both contactor A2 terminal. You can see here in drawing we connect a forward and reverse contactor neutral directly. Now learn a phase control wiring. So first we connect one connector in MCB and connect overload relay NC point first, because when your motor will overload, so first overload relay trip and your motor will be safe. Okay, so first we connect one connector in 95 number point, and output of this NC 96 number point, we connect a stop push button NC element input terminal. Okay, so we connect this connector in NC element and NC output. First learn in control wiring. First we connect a phase and overload relay, then stop push button, and output of this stop push button we will connect in forward push button input and also in reverse push button input. Okay, so first we connect connector here in stop push button NC element, and output of this NC we connect the forward push button input terminal and reverse push button input terminal. So we connect one more connector for reverse push button input terminal. Okay, you can also direct connect from stop push button, but we connect here forward push button and one connector for reverse push button input terminal. Now when you press forward push button, your forward contactor will operate. When you press reverse push button, your reverse contactor will operate. First learn a manual operation. So we connect one connector from forward push button output terminal, and for interlocking, so that our both contactor will not operate at same time. So for interlocking we will use reverse contactor NC terminal, so that when your reverse contactor will stop, so your forward contactor will operate. Okay, when your forward reverse contactor will start, so forward contactor will stop. Okay, so we connect this connector in reverse contactor NC terminal when reverse contactor will stop, so this supply will pass and operate forward contactor. Okay, so we connect one connector from reverse contactor NC output terminal and connect this connector to forward push button A1 terminal, just because for interlocking. Okay, we provide interlocking for forward contactor. When you press push button and reverse contactor will stop, so your forward contactor will operate. Now see in drawing, when you press forward push button, reverse NC, then forward contactor will operate. Reverse push button output connect forward contactor NC and operate reverse contactor. Okay, now for reverse contactor we connect one connector from reverse push button output terminal and connect this connector to forward contactor NC terminal, just because of interlocking. Okay, when forward contactor will stop, so then this supply will pass and operate reverse contactor. So we connect one connector from forward contactor NC terminal and connect this connector to reverse contactor coil. Okay, you can see here we connect this connect. Now let's see manual operation. We start MCB. When you press forward push button, your forward contactor will start. You can see here. When you press reverse push button, so reverse contactor will start. Both contactor could not start at same time because of interlocking. We provide interlocking. And for auto operation, we connect one auto switch. You can see here auto manual switch. First see this auto manual switch connection. Stop push button output connect in auto manual switch common terminal. You can see here. And auto manual switch output connect in forward contactor NO terminal and reverse contactor NO terminal because of holding. So this is forward contactor NO and this is reverse contactor NO, and connect one connector from NO output to forward contactor coil to reverse contactor coil, as we always provide holding in normal contactor. Okay, so learn how to provide contactor holding. So for holding, first we connect one connector from a stop push button NC element. So we connect one connector here, and output of this NC element we connect in auto manual switch common terminal, which is 1 number terminal. You can see here this is selector switch common terminal 1 number point. Okay, when you select a selector switch on 1 number position, so one supply comes in A1 terminal. Okay, so for auto operation we connect connector from A1 terminal. Okay, 1 number point is common point. When you select a selector switch at 2 number point, so one supply comes in this A2 terminal. Okay, so first we connect one connector in common terminal, which is 1 number point. So output this stop push button NC element, we connect this connector in 1 number point, which is common point of this auto manual switch, and we will connect it two connector because for forward and reverse two contactor. So we connect two connector here for providing holding in both contactors. So we connected two connector and connect this connector to reverse contactor NO terminal, also in forward contactor NO terminal, as we always provide holding in normal contactor. Okay, so we connect both holding wire in contactor NO terminal, and we connect one connector from coil A1 to contactor NO terminal. Okay, because when you press push button, supply comes in A1 terminal, and we connect one connector from A1 to NO terminal. When contactor will start, this NO makes NC and holding supply comes in this NO point and also in contactor A1 coil. So our contactor will hold permanently. Okay, so we connected two connectors. You can see here from NO to A1 coil. You can see here we connected this connector in both contactor forward and reverse. Now let's learn how our starter works. So first we start control MCB. We select a 0 number position. That means our starter will run only in manual operation. When you press forward push button, your forward contactor will operate only for when you press push button. Okay, and also when you press reverse push button, your reverse contactor will operate just only for when you press push button. Okay, so this is manual operation. And for auto operation, first you need to select selector switch in 1 number position. Now when you press forward push button, your forward contactor will operate permanently. Now at this time, if you press reverse push button, your reverse contactor will not start just because for interlocking. When you press stop push button, your starter will stop. Now when you press reverse push button, your reverse contactor will operate at same time. When you press forward push button, your contactor will not start just because of interlocking. When you press stop push button, your starter will stop. So hope you clear the concept of this auto manual reverse forward starter. In manual operation, when you press push button, your motor starter will run only for when you press push button. In auto operation, when you press push button single time, your motor starter will run permanently. Hope you clear the concept of this video. If you like this video, please press like button. If you have any query, please ask in comments box. For today's enough. We'll meet next video. Thanks for watching.